This is a cold, harsh truth about succeeding in today's world that nobody seems to want to talk about, but I'm going to take some time to shed some light on it and how you can use it to your advantage. If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Khyatt. A few months ago, I decided not to do an MBA despite getting calls from most top IIMs and B schools in favor of building my own business. Fast forward to today, I've built multiple six-figure businesses. I have generated millions of views online. I have a massive audience that listens to me each week. I write a newsletter that goes out to 2,000 people every single week. And on this channel, I share some of my best learnings, experiences, so that hopefully you can benefit from them as well. Now, the distribution of opportunity in this world is determined by one thing, and that is status. Status is your perceived social value. It is how we are ranked in a social hierarchy, and your access to opportunities is determined by the level or the amount of status you have or the kind of status that you hold. Now, a very important thing to understand is number one, status. This entire process has a very firm evolutionary ground, right? We are used to making decisions based on status. We decide whether to trust someone or not, whether to give them our resources or not, based on how much status they have, and this is an evolutionary trait that has carried on to this day. And number two, status is not real. It is something that is in our head. It is perceived, right? Which means it can be altered or it can be changed, which means you can do things that increase your status and you can do things that decrease your status. Now, if you are a young person and you want to succeed and you want to put yourself in a position to succeed over the next few years, then the best thing that you can do for yourself is to increase your status, because doing so will immediately give you access to better opportunities. The people with more status, the people with higher status will get better jobs, better opportunities, better businesses, better clients, better partners, better social circles, better friends, everything, right? Which means if you want to become successful over the next few years, the best and the easiest way to do that is to build status. Now, there are four primary ways through which you can build status. I'm going to discuss each of them. You can do one of them, or you can do two of them, or you can do all of them, but doing any of these four things is guaranteed to increase the amount of status or the level of status that you have. Number one is institutional credibility. This is why people go to premier institutions like Harvard, Oxford, Stanford, IIMs, IITs, because associating yourself with these institutions immediately gives you a level of credibility, trustworthiness, and status. This is why coaching is going to be a 78,000 crore industry in India, because parents want their kids to go to these premier institutions and have that level of status that comes along with it, so that they can get access to the professional and social opportunities that come along with it. However, I will say that this opportunity to build status through institutional credibility is on the decline, because more and more people are realizing, employers are starting to realize, for example, that hiring people from these institutions might not be the best thing for their organizations, and so it is on the decline, or the level of status that you could have gotten from these institutions is on the decline. So I would keep that in mind while trying to make a decision. However, as of now, if you associated yourself with these institutions, you definitely see a bump in your level of credibility, in your level of trustworthiness, and your status. Number two is improving your presentation, right? Now, presentation builds a perception in the heads of people. How you present yourself determines how people will perceive you. And again, like we know, the perception is what will create or destroy our status. Now, if you can find a way to get people to perceive you as someone who's credible, who's trustworthy, who's successful, who's a winner, then you will immediately see an uptick in your level of status. This means if you can improve how you dress, how you speak, how you talk, how you write, how you communicate, how you appear, right? You will immediately build a better perception of yourself in people's heads, and that will increase your status. Now, this is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people want to dress better, they want to communicate better, but they don't quite know how. If that is you, then I've just released a brand new course called the Communication Powerhouse, where I teach you how to master the art of communication. The link is in the description. I have it at a 50% discount right now because it is on pre-sale. I haven't released it yet. And the people who claim it during pre-sale get a free one-on-one call with me, where I will personally review your communication and tell you what needs to be done to take it up a notch. So check that out if you want to. But if you can find a way to improve communication, to improve presentation, to improve how you dress, to improve how you appear, you will immediately build a better perception of yourself, and people will trust you more, you will become more credible, you will get more opportunities, and you will have higher status. Number 3 is material wealth. If you hold a lot of wealth, if you've inherited a lot of wealth, you will have higher status. If you find a way to make a lot of money, have a lot of wealth, have a lot of resources at your fingertips, then you will hold a higher status. Now this might not be the best part of it. This is a dark aspect. Having material possessions should not lead to higher status, but we are not here to discuss right and wrong. We are here to discuss absolute truths. And with regard to where the society and where our world is right now, if you have access to more resources, if you have more material possessions, and if you have more wealth, you will command a higher level of respect and you will have more status than someone who doesn't. So one of the ways that you can immediately increase your level of status is to start making more money, is to start having more resources. And once again, all of this has an evolutionary reason, right? When all of this did not exist, how did we make decisions on whom to trust? How did partners make decisions on whom to trust? It was based on access to resources, and that is why access to resources has a direct correlation with our level of status or with the social hierarchy. So if you can find a way to make more money, to have more resources, you will have more status. And last but not the least is network. If you can have access to people who have higher status, you by default will have a higher status. Now this is a very interesting phenomenon where if you can build out a network that is high value, if you can start to associate yourself with people who are at a higher status, who are at a higher social hierarchy than you are, then you by default will become more respected. People will view you as someone who's credible because your name is now being associated with the name of the person or with the other person who is more credible, who's more trustworthy, who has more status. So if you can find a way, this is why people say your network is your net worth, is because having a great network around you, associating yourself with people who are winners, who have high status and who rank high in the social hierarchy will immediately bring you access to more opportunities, not just through them, but also through how people perceive you because you are associated with them. So if you want to become someone who is perceived by people as trustworthy, credible, as someone who has higher status, if you want access to more opportunities, if you want to set yourself up for success, you need to find a way to do one of these 4 things, or ideally all of them, to increase your level of status, to increase your ranking in the social hierarchy, and hence increase your access to opportunities. So that's all from me. Consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content that I am putting out. Consider leaving a like, leave a comment if you have any thoughts. I am always very happy to hear from you. I'll be putting more such content out on this channel, so subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks once again for watching till the end. I will see you in the next one.